This is Your Life is in Your Hands with Kenneth Lagerstrom. We encourage your participation in our program, so please call in to 1-866-472-5795. Again, that's 1-866-472-5795. If you have a question or comment about the program, you may also send your email to Voice America at humanhand.com. Now, back to Ken Lagerstrom.
Welcome back to Your Life is in Your Hands and an introduction to palmistry and hand analysis. So today with me is longtime chorologist Jennifer Hirsch, and also an author, and you just released a new book, I hear.
Oh, yes, I have, Ken. Thank you for mentioning that. It's called God-Given Glyphs, Decoding Fingerprints, Chirology, the How-To of Hand Reading. And it covers very much in-depth all known fingerprints and palm print patterns on the hands, on the surface of the palms, as well as an extensive look into how to read the hands from step by step, and then into a little bit on the lots on the fingers actually, the thumbs and so on, and into the lines, the mounts. There's an extensive glossary, and it's filled with juice. It's a great book, if I say so myself, highly illustrated with actual palm prints.
And when you say it covers all the different patterns for the palm prints, do you mean like of the main kinds, or when you say all the different patterns, do you mean the loop, the whorl, the arch, that kind of patterns? Or
yes, we're talking skin ridge patterns here. It's specific to skin ridge patterns. I'd say that the primary emphasis on the book is probably 2/3 of the book is specific to skin ridge patterns. And you know, Ken, I've got well over 2,000 prints in my collection. And over the years, I've been, absolutely so fascinated by these images and these patterns that I've slowly gathered over the last 6 years. In fact, I've been correlating this book and gathered all the samples I could find of the distribution that one finds, and I presented them in what I perceive as the known patterns, the all known patterns, with samples of each.
Okay. So how much...
And they're close-ups, so they're blown up. They're actually nicely visible for the eye.
Right. So in the arch pattern, for example, how many different varieties or breakdowns would you have for that?
Okay, I've kept it very simple. An arch is an arch.
Okay.
But I've got arches on each individual finger and an arch on the moon mount, particularly. So it would be the five, how I present it is a page presenting the pattern.
Okay.
And then the meaning for if it's on either of the 5 fingers, and then a meaning for if it's on 4 or more fingers on a set of hands.
Right.
And then I've also got a section for the meaning of an arch on the ulnar side of the hand, the moon, the hypothene, or the moon mount side of the hand.
Okay. So with the 5-element chorology, it's not so crucial on if it's a tented arch or highly tented arch with the...
Oh, yeah, no, we do tented arches are a separate category. And that follows the exact same system. So I've got a section on tented arches.
Right.
You see, the arch in our system has an earth rulership, and a tented arch has a fire rulership. So they're 2 different element rulerships, so they're 2 different categories.
Oh, I see. Even though the triradius is the same.
Well, a simple arch doesn't have a triradius.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Each of the main prints has...
I mean, the term arch is in both patterns, but they're not the same pattern.
Okay, right. Yeah, so you base it on the actual print itself, not based on presence or absence of the triradius.
Well, yeah, obviously the analysis of the arch is reliant on whether or not there's a triradius. But one would have to read the book, then, it would make more sense.
Okay,
it's a little difficult to describe it on the radio. The triradius, for your listeners, is a sort of convergence of 3 groups of skin ridges that form a triangular pattern. And this, when it's positioned underneath the arch, lifts the arch and pushes it upwards. So it looks like a volcanic, or really like a mountain with a volcanic stirring underneath it.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people refer to it as a delta, just in case they didn't know triradius.
Yes,
so
triradius is a delta.
Where do they go?
They go to my website, which is www.chiro, I'll spell that CHEIRO.co.za.
CHEIRO.co.ca.
Z-A in American.
Right, Z-A for me.
We say Z. You say Z.
I say Z, but yeah, north of the border here.
Okay.
So yeah, it always sounds strange to hear that Z. Except when you're doing the
and there's some nice options for people who visit the site to look inside the book. There's some sample pages, so that's quite fun to have an idea of what to expect.
Oh, good. So they can get a good idea first.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, and they can order it right from online there?
Yes, there's easy purchase option there, Kenneth. Thank you so much for letting me speak about that.
Oh, no worries.
It's just been published. It's brand new. And I think it's very unique. It's not something that's, there's nothing quite like it in the realm in the genre of hand reading. Certainly not with such close-up images.
Right.
And so many handprints. What I've done is I've actually got many palm prints, and then I've done a mini analysis of each palm print as well as a breakdown of what the particular glyph means.
Ah, so the person gets a good experience at seeing how a hand would be interpreted.
Yes, so I've included a little bit of analysis about the lines and so on as well, and the shape and so on.
And the line, oh yeah, and that's a whole nother subject.
Indeed.
Yeah,
we can talk about that next time.
Yeah, so, and you've also got a couple ebooks?
Yes, I've done 2 ebooks too that I've been selling for some years. They're a lovely introduction to hand reading. They're also available from the same website.
From the same website, yep, good.
And anybody's very welcome to email me with any queries or comments. I'd be delighted. I always love to chat with people on the email.
Yep. So, yeah, I know I've answered a few email questions over my time.
Yeah. We get lots of inquiries.
Oh, yeah.
One of the big ones is, of course, how long will I live? I've got a short lifeline. That's one of them. In fact, I had a woman call me just yesterday, a very sad story. Her son actually died, and she said he'd had a short lifeline, and she'd always thought he'd die young. And, we know in today's age that the short lifeline really has very little bearing on the length of life.
Right.
But, obviously people are still concerned because that myth is very entrenched. That's from old palmistry, that if we have a short lifeline, we're going to die young.
Yeah.
And indeed, some people with short lives do die young, but then the reverse of that is also true.
Yeah.
So please, listeners, don't be too perturbed if you have a short lifeline. What it really represents is your energy and your regenerative abilities and your function of some extent, your digestive system, and also your vigor, really, your vitality.
Right. And once again, one line does not give a definitive answer. It's that combination of several lines and the other markings of the hands, of course.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and then, of course, you get this awful bad press that goes with hand analysis so often, where people innocently show their hands to a palm reader and then get told some ghastly, predictive, you're going to have an accident, or one woman even told me that she was told she was going to lose a child. I mean, that's criminal. Oh,
I know.
So we try to avoid anything that is disturbing or unproductive or unkind in any way. The purpose of a hand reading is growth and encouragement and healing and goodness rather than anything unpleasant.
Yeah, so that's basically the difference between old-style palmistry and chirology.
Yep, that's pretty much it, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a strong
thanks for joining us, Jennifer. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and best of luck with the authoring and the book endeavors there. Look forward to your next book, whenever that one comes out, too.
Thank you, Ken.
Very welcome, Jennifer. So tune in next week for another episode of Your Life is in Your Hands. I'm Ken Lagerstrom.